Sorry about that, y'all. Had to tap back in real quick. Let me pick up where I left off from, though, starting over again. Trust your work and your capability, and when you do something, turn it into a positive notion for you. Give it something that you can take on from the next moment, so that you can grow and you can learn from. And that dooms it to be what I call a notch on the belt. You want to be able to take those notches from each moment that you encounter throughout the day. And I want to not let those things be something we dwell upon if it wasn't positive for you, but more so let it be something that when you take it in, you really let it consume you. Okay, so what did I do wrong? Hold yourself accountable. But always trust in it will that in holding yourself accountable, you're learning, you're growing. And that is the essence of life. That is why we seem to exist, is to grow. Because a child grows. Once you become an adult, you don't grow anymore physically unless you don't eat right, don't work out right, unless you have some health issues. But you would grow, you would change. And sometimes in those things, in changing, to kind of understand how to change, we have to have daily goals that we set out for ourselves to achieve. One of my quotes that I always try to resort back to and tap in with is to always bet all in when it comes to yourself. When it comes to you, you're supposed to be all in on everything, because this is your decision. This is your will. If you decide to get up and go to work that day, be all in. Go ahead and knock your 8 hours out. Put your best 8 hours in. That way you can take success from that moment. But only if you take it all in. And if you trust and you do really, really bet all in on yourself, you'll set daily goals to achieve. Now, those daily goals that you're going to set out, it's going to constantly be you starting over each day at a new goal, which is going to constantly train your mind to be able to adapt to each and every moment that you might not know is coming. But that is what makes you cerebral. Being able to embark on everything that's around you is what cerebral means, to be able to be adjustive in moments when needed, to be receptive when needed, to be able to give an output when needed. Remember on the last episode that I tapped into being a fountain and not a drain? Sometimes you have to pour in to be able to get in. Sometimes you have to put out to see what else comes out. But with doing that, you grow. So that's why you want to set those daily goals. Kind of for me, this is what helps me in my daily growth, is to write down what I did. Okay, how did I do it? Where did I start? Where did I finish? Okay, what did I do wrong? So sometimes you might see my eyes check down, check up. I'll be looking at my sheets, looking at my notes, because I'm constantly growing, constantly trying to get better too. And when doing that, we take in what we did wrong, what we did good, and what should be done right. Because the only way that you can do it right is to do it wrong. But once you've done it wrong, you can clearly understand how to do it right. But if you see things that aren't going right and you continue to do them wrong, don't expect it to change. That moment is exactly what it is. And that also goes with the people that you encounter. If they show you those flaws, that's exactly who they are. Me also am accountable for that. If I did something and you feel like it wasn't right, expect that's how I feel. Even if it was in that moment, it was exactly how I felt. So the thing about writing your goals down, they seem so far, but they're so near. Because in creating those daily goals, the small things that you don't understand about creating those daily goals, it's a small chip off the block. If you were sculpting an ice figure, every time that chisel would hit and that hammer would smack, there would be a small block taken off that's going to end in a masterpiece. So the masterpiece is doomed on how you sculpt. And that's why you can't be afraid to start over. Because every time that chisel has to hit and it has to come back and retrieve and restrike again, that's starting over. No lick that you pass can be like the same. So don't embark them as the same. Some take more pressure, some you have to lighten up. But at the end, we're doomed to create a masterpiece. So by doing that, you take your daily goals, you're going to write them down, you're going to truly embark on those. And for me, myself, I try to start with three. Because 3 gives me a chance, a choice, and an option. I have a chance that I could do them all. I have a choice to do them all. But the option is mine and the will that I take and how I approach them. So that daily goal that you might write down, whatever it be that you did bad yesterday, try to embark and not be that same way today. Because if you're that same way today, you're going to be that same person you was yesterday. And when you do that, you're not getting better. And we focusing on growth. We focusing on taking our mental state, elevating it to a higher understanding that we are wrong daily, constantly, momentarily. Each and every minute that we go through is important. Do not overlook any second, because you can't get them back. They can be taken away so quickly. So be stern in creating your daily goals. Jot them down. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Nothing is wrong with it. Once you put it on paper, you can see it, and then you start to formulate your mind of thinking, and you can see yourself as a visual in that same aspect. But it's going to be the effort that you put in of holding yourself accountable of what you actually did wrong. What did you say wrong? Was I receptive in that moment? Could I have been more passive right then? Probably so. And had you been more passive, the outcome probably wouldn't have been what it was. But in being passive, meaning to pass. Sometimes when you be aggressive and hold that restraint there, that moment will be held right there in restraint, because you have two physical forces that are now bound against each other, so they cannot connect. That's like trying to push two magnets together. It's not going to work. You can't do that. Somebody got to give. Somebody got to turn around and be able to be receptive. But the only way to be receptive, you have to be able to consume, to retrieve, to take it in. But by doing that, you grow. And that's what we focus on daily, is us growing. It's not momentarily that situation. If you win in that moment, I did, yeah, I made them shut up, yeah, that's what I thought. But in that negative notion that you took, in that negative win, it's going to carry on to the next moment. So when you get back to your workplace, your workstation, I don't know if it's a call center, or you're a promoter, or if you're a rapper, or if you're a pharmacist, whatever the situation may be, it's going to carry to the next moment, and you might not even notice it. Try not to pass on negative energy, because it retrieves negative energy. Focus on a positive output. It gives you a positive outlook. If you view it positive, it will be doomed to come in positive. But we are what we consume. And if you consume negativity, negativity will consume you. If you allow yourself to stay positive, stay in the moment, you will grow. And in writing down these daily goals will be growth. Challenge yourself to do it. And you can take a notepad, start with the simplest thing. Mine is my attitude. It's my attitude. It's it feeling like sometimes someone thought process isn't there, and it irks my nerve. Irk meaning to hurt. Like it hurts, like to not think. And I have to catch myself and understand that everybody isn't CJ. Everybody didn't take the walks of life I have, even though that we doing with people that we were even raised with, people that we are consumed around. And just because we were raised by the same substance of life doesn't mean that we took it all in the same. And sometimes it kind of frustrates me when I see the non-compassion for intelligence, the non-compassion to want to be better, the non-compassion to not grow. It irks my soul to consistently get up and want to do the same thing. Like you don't want to get no better at all. Like you really can be content with what you're doing right now, every day. I don't care if it's making money. You can make money every day. What if they stop doing what you're doing? You're only good at that. But if you wrote these goals down, you will know that this is my strength. This is what I should be doing. This is where I might need to grow at. Those things will doom to be formed a sculpted masterpiece. And we are masters of our environments, master of our elements. But to be a master of your knowledge and intelligence is a capacity that we have to understand we need badly. We have to grow daily as a people, as a mass. And some people are going to always look at it, and I'm hoping that I reach so many more young people with this, because we got to get better with it. And us as the older people, we have to be consistent in delivering that message, consistent in staying in their earth, consistent in wanting them to understand that you got help. Because a lot of them out here really have real potential and they just don't know it because of who they were taught by. Everybody wants to be right, but who cares who's wrong? Nobody cares who's wrong, but it matters who's right.